Welcome to our channel's Masa Dr. R. In today's video, we'll dive into the world of research proposals. But wait, what is a research proposal and why is it so important? Simply put, a research proposal is your blueprint for a study. It explains the problem you want to solve, your research objectives, and the methods you'll use to reach meaningful results. Whether you're a student, academic, or professional researcher, writing a clear and strong proposal is the first step towards successful research. And here's the exciting part. In episodes 1 and 2, we'll cover this in detail, showing you how to structure and present your proposal like a pro. Stay tuned. We're going to walk you through everything you need to know to create a professional research proposal. We'll cover research title, how to write a clear and concise title. Introduction, presenting your topic effectively. Research problem, defining the issue you want to address. Research objectives, outlining what you aim to achieve. Research questions or hypotheses, setting the foundation for your study. Literature review, summarizing and analyzing existing research. Research methodology, explaining your approach and tools. Significance of the study, why your research matters. Timeline, planning your work step by step. References, citing your sources correctly. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear idea of how to structure and present a research proposal that stands out. Let's get started. Did you know that the title of a scientific research paper is the first element that captures the reader's attention and establishes the credibility of your work? In the world of academic research, a title is never chosen at random. It must adhere to precise criteria that ensure its clarity and effectiveness. Let's explore together the golden rules for crafting an outstanding research title. Make sure you write a clear, concise, and academically sound research title that accurately reflects the subject of the scientific study, specifies the field of study and its variables, if applicable, and is free from ambiguity. For examples of research titles: the impact of training and development on enhancing employee performance in government institutions. The relationship between job motivation and job satisfaction among employees in the private sector. Criteria for an academic research title. 1. Clarity and precision. The title should be clear and free from ambiguity. It must directly convey the research topic without vagueness. Clear example: the impact of transformational leadership on job satisfaction in educational institutions. Unclear example: a study on leadership and satisfaction. 2. Conciseness without loss of meaning. Keep the title as brief as possible while still covering the core idea of the study. Preferably, it should not exceed 12 to 15 words. 3. Specificity. Focus on a well-defined topic, discipline, location, or time period. Example: the effect of training programs on the performance of commercial bank employees in Saudi Arabia. 4. Inclusion of research variables, if applicable. Clearly indicate the main variables, independent and dependent, if the study is quantitative. Example: the relationship between work stress and productivity in industrial companies. 5. Use of formal academic language. Avoid colloquial expressions or non-scientific terms. Prefer precise academic terminology. 6. Relevance to the field and discipline. The title should reflect the field of study, e.g., management, education, technology, human resources. It must guide the reader directly to the academic domain. 7. Avoid framing as a question. Prefer declarative form. Academic research titles are typically declarative rather than interrogative. Declarative example: the impact of financial technology on financial inclusion. Question. Example: does financial technology affect financial inclusion? 8. Scholarly appeal. The title should be engaging and appealing to an academic audience without exaggeration. For examples: the impact of training and development on enhancing employee performance in government institutions. The relationship between job motivation and job satisfaction among employees in the private sector. Did you know that a well-written introduction in a scientific research paper is the main course that serves your ideas to the reader? Firstly, background and significance. Provide background on the research topic and its importance. Clarify the general context that justifies conducting the research. Topic is a key area in field/discipline, with a direct impact on relevant outcomes. Rapid changes in context highlight the need for deeper understanding to improve practices, develop policies, enhance performance. This study addresses a knowledge gap and provides an evidence-based foundation for effective strategies in relevant field. For example, The role of digital marketing in the modern era is growing as a primary tool for influencing consumer behavior. Companies are increasingly relying on digital platforms to reach their target audiences. This underscores the need to study the impact of digital marketing on consumer behavior in order to gain a deeper understanding of its strategies and outcomes. Criteria for writing an academic introduction. 1. Background. Provide a clear background of the topic. Begin the introduction with a general explanation of the topic to give the reader an understanding of the research context. The background should be concise and should not turn into a comprehensive literature review. 2. Significance. Highlight the significance of the study, explain why the topic is academically or practically important. Indicate a knowledge gap or a real-world problem that warrants investigation. 3. Clarify the general research context, link the study to its academic or practical environment, sector, country, or target population. Position the reader within the proper framework to understand the necessity of the research. 4. Briefly formulate the problem statement. Include a brief lead-in that sets the stage for presenting the research problem later. 5. Purpose. Define the purpose or objectives of the study. State the primary aim of the research, e.g., exploration, analysis, testing relationships, etc. 6. Logical sequencing. Start from the general and gradually move toward the specific, from the broad idea to the precise research focus. 7. Avoid excessive length. Keep the introduction concise, typically between 200 to 400 words in standard academic papers. 8. Use formal academic language. Avoid personal style or non-scientific expressions. 9. Provide a lead-in to subsequent chapters. In some cases, conclude the introduction with a brief statement outlining the structure or main chapters of the study. Did you know that accurately defining the research problem is the cornerstone that determines the success or failure of the entire study? Why is the research problem important? It determines the overall direction of the study and guides all subsequent efforts. It represents the moment when you identify something new that requires investigation. Without a clear problem, the research loses its scientific value. Conditions for writing an academic research problem: clarity and precision. The formulation of the problem should be clear and free of ambiguity. Formulated in direct sentences that make it easier for the reader to understand the nature of the problem. Specificity. The problem should be specific and focus on a specific topic, not too general or broad. Defines the underlying variables or environment/context in which the study is conducted. Relevance. The problem must be related to the researcher's specialization and field of study. It must have scientific or practical value that adds to knowledge in the field. Research gap. Explains what has not been covered in previous studies. Indicates the need for research to fill this gap. Logical flow. It begins by presenting a brief background to the topic, then clarifying the shortcomings, and ends by presenting the problem in a specific form. Researchability. The problem must be studyable using clear scientific approaches, data available, or possibility of measurement and analysis. Significance. It illustrates the importance of studying this problem. Will it contribute to the development of a scientific theory, or solve a practical problem? Conciseness. The formulation of the research problem is brief, usually 1 or 2 paragraphs, without going into the details of the literature. For example, in digital marketing, despite the widespread adoption of digital marketing among small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, previous studies have often focused on traditional marketing strategies without directly analyzing the impact of digital marketing on sales in this type of business. This research gap calls for an in-depth study to clarify the relationship between digital marketing and sales growth in small and medium enterprises. We'll cover next episodes 2 in detail: research objective research questions, such as hypotheses, literature review, research methodology, significance of the study, timeline references. Thank you for following. If you like the content, don't forget to click the subscribe button and activate the bell so you can receive our upcoming lectures. Share this video with those you think will benefit from it. For inquiries or to request academic advice, we are happy to contact you via email q360gcc@outlook.com. We will meet in the next episode, God willing.